Today is actually one of my favorite Sunday corners of the year. It's one of my favorite Sundays of the year because this is where we begin to meet the second half. It's like it's like you're acquainted with it. You know what's coming, but it's like, hi, second half, how are you? Right? So what that means is that January through June has happened. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Friday, I had a big finish in Mary Kay, but I didn't finish where I wanted to. I didn't finish exactly where I wanted to at all. So I'm back on the horse. I'm going to do what I need to do for the next 6 months because I want a big finish to 2022. And I'm sure you're the same way. Whether you hit all of the goals that you want to. I spoke to one of my a client I used to have last night, and she's like, I already surpassed all of 2021. Shout out to Audra Christie. She already surpassed it. So now what? Sometimes it's that you've surpassed where you thought you were going to go, and sometimes that you didn't get anywhere close. But we're going to talk today about 4 ways that either way, no matter which way you are, that you know some great ways to keep going. Because sometimes when you've had major success and you meet the second half, you get nervous. You get scared. Okay, so if I did all of that, if I did everything I already planned to do in 2022, should I coast? Like I can just take a vacation, and maybe you can. But I also want you to think about the things I'm going to talk about here, because whether or not you've met all the goals and you've hit them really well, what you wanted, you have to realize that you still got to set some other things going forward for the rest of the year, or else you're going to start off January behind the 8 ball. I will tell you that I'm broadcasting through Zoom today because I get a better look, and I'm kind of testing out this background. I should check. I got to hope to make sure that it looks correct on Facebook because I'm not 100% sure. Let me check. Oh, yes, it is. That is awesome. I love that. So, oh, hi, who's that? Who's that? Show me a comment so I can see. I'll be looking down. If you got questions, I'll be looking down here and there so that I can respond. Hopefully I can see it on my phone because I am on my computer here. All right, so I got a few things that I want you to think about going into the second half. The reason I love the second half is because, everyone is setting goals for the first half. Everyone's got resolutions going. Everyone's thinking about setting all these goals. And they do that like just before New Year's, just before January. And then a lot of times it's just kind of a bandwagon. And anyone who's followed me for any amount of time, you know that this is the 6th year of the Sunday Corner. I've been talking about this at least for the last 3 years, the second half, how important it is. And what I find is that if you do that, and then by March you're off the diet, you're off the wagon, you stopped fasting, you're drinking more again, you stopped exercising, all those things. That's what basically happens. But July gives you a fresh start. It's like you can basically say it's January all over again. It's just a warm, nicer, kinder, nicer January in July. That's how I view it anyway. If you love cold weather, peace. But for me, warm weather. All right, so here's one of the things I want you to do. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about not setting goals. Not setting goals. I know I said a curse word, right? Not setting goals. What are you talking about? We got to set goals. All right. I'm not going to tell you not to set goals, but I want you to kind of think about them in a different way. And one of the ways I want you to think about it is I want you to think about being intentional in your decisions. So it's like creating a new identification, a new ID for yourself. The old ID, and I'm telling you, when I create these notes, when I'm brainstorming about what I want to share and what I'm doing in my life, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. It's a little bit different than last year, a little bit different from January. Check your ID. Check your ID. It's like when you go to the grocery store, you go to the mall and you give them your credit card. Sometimes you sign it and it's just always the same. And sometimes you may be like me, I'm a little paranoid. And so I probably put check ID. Most times they don't. And most times if they ask me to, I probably don't want them to. But, I want them to check the ID in case it's not me that day and someone has stolen my wallet. I want to make sure they know. Check the ID. Is it really me? So a lot of times we're setting goals and it's not you. It's someone else's ideals for you. Maybe you're in a direct marketing business like I am, a direct sales business. And maybe someone else in your purview has set a goal for you that doesn't even feel like you. Check your ID. Intentional decisions. Don't make decisions based on other people. And I'm not telling you not to be a team player. Be a team player. Ask what the goal is. Ask what everyone's fighting for within the team, but also check your own ID and be intentional about the decisions you make. Because when you're intentional about decisions, I know for myself, when I'm intentional about the decisions I make, I want to create really life and energy around those goals, life and energy around those goals. When I work with people, And they constantly, even like I'm doing content strategy, right? I'm working with some clients, and it's like we keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm like, can we just for a second, what is your intention? Like, what's your intention this month? What's your intention this quarter? All right, let's make decisions around that. So that goes into our second thing. Our second thing is to be accountable. You need to get a little granular around your accountability. Many of us are often accountable to people, but it's not granular. It's like, oh, I know I'm checking in with you today, but like I didn't do it again. It didn't work. I was trying, but I've done it. I've done it. I am a confidence coach, but I also have two coaches. I have two coaches and an accountability partner. Why? Because if I didn't have at least a coach, I have two right now, and a couple of accountability partners, one for Mary Kay and one for my regular business, I've got a couple of accountability partners. Why? Because if I didn't, I would let myself off the hook. That's what we tend to do, even perfectionists, even those of us type A girls who like to do all the things, we tend to give ourselves a break. And then if we don't give ourselves a break, we also need someone to tell us to do that. So both things happen. So what I want you to think about is how can you be accountable and be accountable to someone who truly counts? There's that saying that says that we don't want to just count days. I had to write this one down. Don't just count your days, make your days count. And one of the ways to do that is by being accountable to someone who really cares. Don't just be accountable to anyone because you love them and know them. They have to really understand what your ID is. What are your intentions? And are the decisions you're making hitting those intentions? Are they going to actually get you to where you want to go? And again, I love the fact that I'm not saying I'm there yet at all. I'm not there yet. I'm there on some things, and on many things, no. I have big goals in Mary Kay this year for the next 6 months for my team. And I want to be the kind of leader that really makes a difference for them, but also for myself and for my family. So being accountable, tell someone and be honest. Don't set these teeny tiny little intentions and goals. They're so small you can't. Don't do that. Do something big. Do something big. All right, here's the next one. The next one is I want you to love the choices you make. So what that means is that when you're making, so you set your intentions, you got your intention, you got your ID on lock, and you're going to be accountable to someone, whether that's someone in your network marketing business or whether you hire a coach or whatever it is. You've got your accountability on lock. Now what I want you to do is think about loving your choices for the next 6 months, but it starts this week. Make one choice, make one intention, ask one person to be your accountability partner, hire a coach this week. Don't wait until the end of July. You're now 1 month down out of the next 6. So do it this week. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start making choices that are in alignment with those intentions and those decisions. Because when you love the choices that you're making, then you want to make them. Let me give you an example. So I told many of you back in September, I decided to stop drinking alcohol. Not for religious reasons, not really for physical reasons, although I was really trying to cleanse at that time. So I said 30 days, I'm not going to drink. Then 30 days turned to 60, and then 60 turned to like 90. And then I took like a drink or two, and then it just became kind of normal and natural for me not to drink too much. Partially because I'm not traveling to the Dominican Republic. When I go to the Dominican Republic, I drink. So it's like I just kind of got used to not doing that. It was an intentional decision. I was trying to change up my body, the way it feels on the inside. Then I had a car accident in January, very serious car accident. Who's trying to drink while you're taking different medication and going through treatment, or trying to keep my body as clean as possible because I couldn't do the exercise that I was used to doing. So I didn't have the normal hormones going through my body as normal. So it's like, don't drink and alter what's already going on. Intention. I was accountable to both my coach, my doctors, my naturopath, my therapist, and also my sister. And then I loved the choices I was making. I didn't feel bad about it. When I wanted to have that little glass of red wine, I went and got it. And I didn't beat myself up over it. So once you're making these decisions and these intentions and you're being accountable, I want you to love the choices that you're making. When you love your choices, even when the choices are kind of tough, when you have to say no to something, when you have to remove something from your diet, or move something from your schedule, or move something from your life, or even move a person. When you love the choice, you won't mind doing it. And you'll realize it's going to get you toward your journey. So hopefully that makes sense. And the last thing I want you to do, this is the toughest one, especially if you're a type A girl. This is the toughest one. You're a super mom, you're a lead, you're that wife, that mom, that teacher, that CEO. If it's you, if you're that leader, I want you to be graceful. Now look, I know you're not doing ballet. You're not wearing a tutu. I want you to be graceful. And what that means is that I want you to include laughter. I want you to remember my motto of focus, attention, and take time. I want you to do the hobby. I want you to take the moment. I want you to Netflix and chill. And I don't want it. You want it. You need it. In the process of doing all these hard things, you've got to also do something that works for you. You have to, because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy the journey. And once you get there, it's like, what was the point of this? All of us have to work in one capacity or another. Whether you're a working mom, a working wife, maybe you're a grandmother, and you're helping your daughter and your son to take care of their children, whatever it is that you're deciding to do right now, maybe you're like me, maybe you're just embarking on a business. Maybe you're just trying to blow up in your business. But if you don't realize that you have to embrace the grace, then what's going to happen is you're going to be too tough on yourself, too hard on yourself. And even when you get to the end of the journey, there's not going to be any joy. And I don't know about you, but a journey without joy, what is the point? You need a little bit. You need a little bit of joy. So I want you to forgive the person, even if it's yourself. I want you to make the call. I want you to pay attention to the shoulds, which means that if you know that there's something that's like, it's annoying, you need to go do it. Just go do it. And don't belabor it. Don't have it be so, like, don't put it off. Just get it done. If you're like me, you have an elderly mom or you're a caretaker for someone, call more frequently. It doesn't mean it has to be an hour. It can be 10 minutes. Let them know. One of the things that I'm working on, being very transparent and honest, is following up on my customers. I absolutely love my customers, not just when they purchase from me. I love my customers, but I get super busy and I like, they fall off my calendar and then I feel guilty. And then I feel bad. Then I don't want to call them. That's a vicious cycle. Are you in that cycle? Give yourself grace, let it go and start again. Because it's when you start again that great things happen. All right, so those are only 4 things. It's not that hard. All right, you're going to check your ID at the door. You're like, I am going to be intentional. I'm going to make intentional decisions that are getting me to the destination I want to go to. I'm going to be accountable to someone who cares about me and who's going to get granular with me, who's not just let me throw a big goal up on the platter and then just let it go. And then 3 months from now, oops, I didn't do anything. No, real accountability partners, real coaches. Figure out who that is. I have my first accountability appointment on Tuesday, serious one with one of my mentors. I'm ready for it. I know it's going to be a little hard. It's going to be a little harsh. There's going to be some spanking involved. I'm here for it. Then I want you to remember to love your choices. Make choices that fit your life, that feel good, and that are actually going to get you to the place you want to go. And then don't forget to embrace the grace. The grace is what's going to make all the work you're doing worthwhile. And it's going to help you to remember that it's all worth it. My name is Chateau Morrison. I think you know that. I am the princess of positivity. I do believe that you can release your negativity so your positivity can reign in your brain, your business, and your big, bold, beautiful life. And I think you can do it amidst COVID, amidst the pandemic, amidst the problems that you're having in your life. I think you can. But you can't do it in a vacuum. You can't do it by yourself. And you can't do it approaching everything the way you approached it in January. We're 6 months in. It's second half. Welcome to July. Have an amazing week. Be safe out there. And until we speak again, be authentic, be brilliant, and be the catalyst. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get in touch with me, you can always drop me a DM, a Facebook message here on Facebook. You can also get in touch with me in the comments below. I'll put the comments below. You can always check me out there, how you can follow me. I'm all over the place on social. And if you need to have a private one-on-one beauty appointment or confidence appointment, or even content strategy, definitely check me out and we will have an opportunity to talk. Have a great one and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.